Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the brief technical hiccup we just had there. Welcome back to Hut's F1 Gaming League. We're here at the Circuit of the Americas for round 18 out of, 22. I'm joined by someone you may well be familiar with, Shiv.
Hey everyone, how's it going? It's me. I guess you could say former league racer in this series and current co-commentator still. Look forward to joining you on what is going to be a pretty exciting track. It's going to be quite the debacle really. I have to stop saying quite interesting because even in my practice lobbies commentating, that's the only thing I say. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, quite interesting, and it gets really annoying. So I'm trying to find new words to put in there. But we've got about a couple of seconds till we load into the lobby, and it's definitely going to be a good one because Coda's quite a competitive track and quite an open track where you can overtake a lot. And yeah, it's always a good race. Whatever series of racing you're watching here, whether that's F1, you're watching F2 here, you're watching W Series races here, IndyCar races here, MotoGP races here as well. So always a good watch. Even endurance racing as well, races here quite often. So always a fan, and quite high on the tire wear as well. So unless it's a wet race, and even if it is a wet race, we're gonna see some interesting pit strategies, and combined with safety cars and whatnot, it's going to be a hell of a race to commentate. So we're heading into qualifying now. Short qualifying session, I believe it's 18 minutes. You can set as many or as few laps as you want within the session. It does look dry, so it's not too bad at all.
We should get a weather forecast from Sherlock, but at the minute, that's one of the things we don't get as commentators. A weather forecast system, which would be nice. I just want to point out quickly in the chat, Reese, thank you for subscribing. Please could you unban Liam? Well, that's not my doing. In fact, he actually hasn't been banned. What had happened is he's actually left the league completely, so yeah, he's not around anymore. So sorry about that. Meanwhile,
speaking of that, got a couple cars on track now.
The track is, that's
I believe it's a Red Bull.
Name.
That's Crazy Steve. Yeah, it's their first car on track, and this track had really rubbed us in towards the end. So, presume we're going to be seeing all of the soft tires being used because I think really everyone wants to keep this to a one-stop race if they can. So a medium to a hard or something along the lines of that.
We have
because
a black screen. Sorry,
you've got a black screen. Okay, then I will put it into words. So let us know when that screen is back.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
It's not back yet. Something is wrong.
Just give us a shout. In the meantime, though, we're having a lot of our drivers prepare, and there's a huge gaggle of cars just going out into the circuit now. I think all but four drivers are out, so 16 cars out on the track. To really get that screen working still, because I tell you, it is a real beauty to see these guys. But out in front, Crazy Steve in the Red Bull is just, he's got clear air behind him, clear air in front of him, and in the number 13 Red Bull, and they're just preparing to start a lap here at Kota.
We appears to be working now. Oh, my controller isn't working though.
One technical issue or the other technical issue, but regardless,
the technical issues.
we're bring you some good racing, regardless of what happens. So Crazy Steve's on the lap now, just going through turns 1, 2, and 3. Now going through the iconic Kota S's, inspired from the very iconic Suzuka S. Left, right, and a very long right. Got a really fell-off level here. Reminds me a lot of the Nürburgring. Then a left, and then then a spin. So a very further left, make sure not to get in the way of that Ferrari. I believe that was Sherlock or Daniel. No, it was definitely Sherlock. So going on board with him.
So
A
Sherlock
nice
will be
heavy braking zone.
Sherlock will be
right
the first
here.
car to set the benchmark time, should he not
Unless he-
invalidate.
Yeah, should not
Currently
spin
going
out. I
down
think.
the main straight. There's been another yellow flag in sector 1. That looks like Reese had a bit of an issue, but he's going again now.
Good. Yeah, these S's are quite hard on the tires, especially they overheat quite a bit because you want to get a decent straight line speed and whatnot, but you also want good acceleration. So these guys must have had quite high tire pressures and whatnot. But as you can see, quite quite draining on the tires, and maybe that really led to Crazy Steve's spin. But Sherlock now going through what is one of the most satisfying bunch of corners on any Formula One circuit. Make sure not to invalidate on that right hand side curve, because you can also invalidate here, here, and here. Going to the line now, the lap time is a 34.6, and that is going to be coming tumbling down as we saw in practice. Big Six coming in with a 34.9, so about 3/10 away so far. Now we look to the Williams of Angel, which is 34.2. So looking at 34s at the moment. Ferrari coming across 33.8 for Daniel 99 and 34.1. So lap times are now coming in, and presumably they'll fill up for one lap. Because if you do 2 laps in a row here, I'm sorry, but your tires are screaming towards the end. A lot of 34s coming in, but Daniel with a 2/10 gap over everyone else. So we've got both the Mercedes, both the Ferraris who have a lap time.
Yes.
Sorry,
I've just noticed that Goshan is not taking part today, by the looks of things, unless he's changed his name. We've got Bengal, who was a reserve driver from last week, and we have someone called Ace Pilot. So, and since TomTom isn't here either, it does look like that. Yellow flag in the S's.
I think that's a Haas. That's a Haas that's a Haas of Jordan.
Yes,
Jordan, he's spanning and going again. He was on a flying lap, but presumably he's going to get back to the pits now.
Yes, with not quite sure on all the numbers, but
the Haas
with Goshan and TomTom and their positions in the championship.
Okay.
Currently, Goshan is 102 points ahead of.
A little bit of a dominant lead.
Yeah, he's quite a way ahead of TomTom. So all he needed was to win this week's race, or at least finish ahead of TomTom, and he would be more than 4 race wins ahead, and more or less be outside of a championship challenge from anyone else. But given that he and TomTom are not here, I think that may well be Goshan having the championship anyway, unless Bubbly has anything to say about it, because he's currently P1 and going through the stadium section, though he's on an in-lap.
Yeah, so no, I think he is on a fly. Oh no,
he was 4.5 seconds down in sector 2, so he's coming in.
Okay, yeah, no, definitely not. So the benchmark time is a 33.6. I don't know what Daniel has to say about that. It looks like it is a decent gap, field gap at the moment, from like P1 to P15. It's about 2 and a bit seconds, I think. So
2.2 seconds between P1 and P15. There's a car going off towards Jordan around to turn 18, whilst his teammate Hardy comes around the final corner to set his flying lap here, and it is a 33.9. So very close.
I guess Jordan will be wanting to replicate that in the other Haas, because you've got one Haas top 3, and then you've got one Haas in a top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, I think Jordan is going for it again.
That's going to be interesting. I really want to observe that lap, because I think what he's going to try to do is try to extract some time out of his tires. Maybe he's fueled up for multiple runs, so a push, a cool, and a push, but he has span.
A little bit wide.
He's got the fastest first sector.
He practically matches through sector 1.
So what we're thinking is that he's going to save a set of softs. If he goes out again, he'll probably have one more set of new softs for the race, which, depending on where he starts, is going to be quite advantageous, really. He's going to go to the main straight now. And
Okay.
when we get to the yellow line, what I like to call the sector detector, we'll see how he's placed. And currently, as it stands, he holds the fastest first sector out of anyone at the moment. We're just gonna go see right now. It's another purple sector, so he's 2 and a bit tenths up, which is really, really good. So he could be in the fight for pole here, actually. And keep in mind, that's not 2 and a bit tenths up from his time. That's 2 and a bit tenths up from P1. So
I've
he
never
could be
been
going.
entirely confident about the purple sectors in multiplayer, because I tend to think that the purple stands for the player's
Time.
own time.
Oh, okay. Well, in that
It's
case,
not a bad lap time.
you might have been right,
4
because
1/4
it's a
tenths
34-1. Yeah.
I
So he
would-
is about 4/10 away. Yeah, 5/10, half a second away now from Bubbly
I just
in
need to
the Aston.
add that Goshan is not the champion yet because there's a sprint race weekend coming up, so he is not yet champion. I got things a little bit wrong.
It's all good. It's all good. Though we do have the current pole sitter, Bubbly, who is now on an outlet. He can take you on a very nice lap of Circuit of the Americas as they just get rid of traffic. Everyone's in at the moment. I think Crazy Steve, Pookie, and Reese.
Yeah, Reese is about to come around the penultimate corner on his
He's going to
flying
see
lap.
what his lap time is. Yeah.
Managed to keep it within the white lines. It's not going to be fighting for pole anytime soon, but
He is 15.
P15.
Pretty decent position to be in. Oh, we've got Williams around. That's Angel.
And we've got a
In the
Ferrari
Williams.
around as well, just
So-
on the sector 1/2 margin.
Doing very
That's
well to get out of the way.
Daniel.
Yeah. So I guess cold tires or overly warm tires. What's your pick there?
He's on an
So-
outlap, so it was probably cold tyres.
Yeah. It does happen. Like I remember one league race I did with you guys on the F122 game. Technically, my only league race on this game was at Spain. Went through the first. We've got Bubbly who has invalidated his lap, but I remember going through the first couple of sections at Spain and just immediately hitting the wall. So it was just, I don't know if you can't, embarrassing, if that was the word, but we've got a Haas stuck there. It might be Jordan, I believe. No, not Jordan. It's actually Hardy, who's just stopped. And I've been pretty respectful of getting out of the way. Everyone's here, so it's quite good. Though it might have damaged the races and whatnot.
Quack is 4/10 up through sector 2. Coming through the stadium section right now. He's now heading into the Istanbul Turn 8 clone.
So if he's 4/10 up from his time, that would put him
It
P14?
P14, 15, depends on
Yeah,
how much
something like that. Yep, we're just going to see where he's going to be placed. Coming across the final corner now. So he's P16.
He lost a little bit of time through sector 3.
He was 3/10 up, but he's still P16. So it's not a bad effort, but definitely not what the Mercedes want to be. They want to be 1 and 2, and they're 13th and 16th. But Kota is always a chaotic race, so you never know what's going to happen.
It's bad luck for Pookie, who has invalidated before his lap has even really begun.
Oof.
We have... Who else is on a flying lap? It might be his teammate Jessic, possibly. He's currently P4. He has matched through sector 1, more or less.
Sector
Slightly
2,
faster.
he's a little bit up. Yeah.
No, sector 1 is a bit delayed.
Okay. Yeah.
Sector 2, he goes across that now, and he's a little under 3/10 faster.
So that would put him.
That would put him
currently
in P2 if he can keep up the pace. Going through turn 17 now and into turn 18. Long right-hander, the inverse of Istanbul turn 8. Into turn 19.
Rear end is screaming at the front.
Oh, and he loses it, and he's lost his front.
He's out. I tell you, commentator's curse at its finest. He would have been P2 there, but it's a yellow flag. And a bit of a stark reminder for everyone that stuff like this can go wrong even when you've got everything right. So, really, really unfortunate.
And there was a bit of an issue for one of the Alpines there as well. But yeah, so the best position that Jessic can start in now is P4. His teammate, Pookie, who I know is a pretty capable driver from his exploits in the other league. Oh, Fusion has just picked up a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Hardy.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens when we get a bit of a perspective. And Hardy is now been disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane.
I'm not sure what was going on there.
Well, Hardy is now disqualified, so everyone gets promoted up a place, which is quite interesting. So that means that Jessic, who crashed out, can start P3 at best. So a bit of an involuntary position gain, but we do see Pookie's now coming through.
I'm surprised Pookie was able to keep that lap because he quite visibly cut the curb there, so that might be a bit of
the fastest middle sector. Well, again, we've seen purple flash up on a lot of people's track maps, so yeah, everyone's technically got the fastest middle sector. Hopefully, he doesn't do what his teammate did and lose the rear end, but keeping quite safe. And that rear really just wants to snap on you at that point. Coming to the final corners now.
Corner
nice right-hander.
Should be a nice lap, and it's a 1:34.1. He matches Finley Norman's time to the 1,000th of a second, but because Finley Norman set that time first, he will start P5 if neither of them can improve.
I think we saw that in the 2017 United States Grand Prix with Raikkonen and Ricciardo.
I'm not sure about that, but I know we definitely saw something, a very famous version of that sort of event.
1997, yeah.
1997 European Grand Prix, where 3 drivers set the exact same time.
Michael Schumacher, Jacques Villeneuve, and Heinz-Harald Frentzen.
Yes, not quite in that order. It was Villeneuve, then Schumacher, then Frentzen.
I'm more stating the drivers than I am. Yeah. Well, we got a history buff here, guys.
A little over a 10th faster through Sector 1, so he should improve, though he's a bit of a ways behind Big
position,
6.
But,
he will just been overtaken by Jabba for P15.
He would beat P15 if he doesn't improve. Like, as in, if he keeps that 10th, doesn't improve, then he is P15.
We'll see what his Sector 2 time is as he crosses the sector cutting line now. He is slightly slower, but still a 10th up, so he should still finish P15 after this lap. Got a yellow flag. That's an Alpine going slowly. Or is it
maybe just getting out? Just getting out of the way.
Ace pilot.
Yeah. We're gonna see everyone kind of scruffle out of the pits now. It is really going to be the fight for pole, and Daniel now is out. He's just got his out lap going through the S's. So Reese come across the line. Is
35-2. He's within touching distance of Big 6. So he did ace the 3rd sector, more or less.
Angel goes P3, which is pretty awesome lap from him. And
33.9.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Daniel is now going out. So is Bubbly. So these guys are going to be fighting for pole.
These are the final minutes of the session.
Track is rubbered up. Fuel load is low. Everyone's on track, but their final couple of lap times in, and everyone's praying for clean air from the front and behind, and also to not just be interrupted by anyone. Because if you're a couple tenths up and you're interrupted, that's not a good sign for you.
Yeah, this will be the final flying lap opportunity for most of these drivers. Some are on out laps, some are perhaps on their flying laps right now. It doesn't look like it though. Is that Biscuit? No, it's the other.
Daniel, he's weaving. Now is getting ready to rumble, as I like to say. Now going through to the first corner.
The first final corner as he crosses the line to start what will almost certainly be his final flying lap. In fact, it will be his final flying lap. It goes through turn 1 quite nicely. down the hill to turn 2, and then turn 3, which marks the beginning of the Maggots and Beckett's clone, which then turns into an S's clone from Suzuka. Lots of cloned sections on this track. Sector 1 completed. I didn't catch his Sector 1 time, and if it was up or not. Did you?
I don't believe so. I think it might have just been slightly, but we'll see with Sector 2 as well. Meanwhile, Bubbly on a new fresh set of softs, just going through the first sector now.
I didn't catch his first sector either.
No, it's going through the first sector now, so...
He's going through the second sector now. He's at the...
Oh, he gets a tank slapper though. That's not going to improve his lap time, so he will be under threat from Daniel. He currently has the provisional pole.
Yeah.
But, oh, Finley Norman now goes P2. So he's overtaken Daniel. What can Daniel do? I didn't catch his Sector 2 time either because
he is a 10th up. He is a 10th up.
Yeah, 10th up. So it looks like the best Daniel could do at the minute is potentially P2 unless he can take pole position.
Well done.
And Bubbly is 3/10 down. He cannot improve, and he has just invalidated too. So Daniel 99 takes pole position for the USA Grand Prix ahead of Bubbly, who is the only regular top starter here at the minute. And Goshen and Tom not here. My words all mixed up. Oh, controller, please stop doing that.
Pretty exciting qualifying session, don't you think?
Yeah. Half decent, at least. I don't know what is going to happen with Lero Fusion. He has that 5-second penalty. Not 5 second, 5 place position penalty.
Probably it'll be revoked as they'll have to do the grid manually.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And Hardy.
Any predictions for the race?
Oh, I'm not sure. The guy who normally wins is not here, so it's between Daniel and Bubbly, I think. And I think my money would have to be on Bubbly. He's the proven quantity here, but you know, Daniel wasn't half bad at the Austrian round a few weeks ago, so
we'll see.
Yeah. Indeed, we will.
I don't see anyone leaving, so it looks like we will be starting this round without going out to the lobby again and making a manual grid.
Yep, and that means that penalty, that grid penalty, will stay
apply.
then. Yeah. So, we'll get a formation lap now.
Formation lap. If only we had this starting camera
at the beginning of the race, but because the game is not very well made, it doesn't know how to do that anymore.
We've got a decent amount of tyre selection. The first soft runner is Jessic in P6. It'll be very interesting.
Nope, that's Bengal who's on softs, as well as Saw K and Crazy Steve. They're the 3 runners on softs. Jordan, Pookie, Big Six, and Hardy are all starting on hard tyres.
Rather fittingly for Hardy. And everyone else is going to start on the medium tyres.
So it looks pretty diverse. Yeah, no, sir, I mean, like, basically, in a nutshell, it does look like a decently diverse string of tires, and especially if they can get those hards warmed up. It'll be very interesting to see Jordan, who is P4 on the hards, and then we'll also be very interested to see how Bang at the front of the softs, because going from there, we'll see a variety of strategies, and especially if there's a lot of chaos, potentially it's a very good long-term tire, and then obviously with safety cars and stuff, it's definitely going to be a spectacle that everyone is looking forward to. The last time a Ferrari was on pole here at COTA, which is this year, they got taken out. So Daniel's probably hoping for that not to happen, as they wait for the grid formation. I guess you can take it away here still, just when they warm up the tires.
Oh, yeah. There's been a spin, actually. Crazy Steve has spun at turn 18 on the formation lap, so that's a little bit embarrassing. So he'll be the last driver to form up. Everyone else is lining up. We don't appear to have a very good camera angle for this. It's a nose camera until P4. Bengal has not lined up correctly. You can't tell what positions the drivers have taken, what sort of angles they're at. Crazy Steve has also failed to line up correctly. So here we go, the lights are coming on for the Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. It's been potentially a bad getaway for, I think that's Sherlock, yes it is. Though he's actually managing to get his way past McLaren. And Bubbly has taken the lead from Daniel before turn 2. So he goes into the S's section ahead of the Ferrari. Currently, we have Pookie, who's lost positions on the start, as has Angel. Sherlock up 3 positions. Reese down 3. And Crazy Steve is dead last at the minute. In fact, he seems to have had another spin. Jessic has held position.
It looks pretty clean.
Yeah.
I mean, the first couple of corners were pretty clear. I did expect a spin there. I think Crazy Steve was...
there's been a spin for Bengal! And he goes around. And
that's really unfortunate for the soft tyre runner. I was really looking forward to seeing how he placed, but they have plenty of time to gain places back in this race, though the order looks pretty similar.
Pookie continues to tumble down the order. Something seems to be wrong with that car. Maybe he's set it up poorly. Oh, he actually has front wing damage, so he will have to put...
he's lost an end plate.
I'm not sure when that happened. Possibly it was what happened between him and Crazy Steve, as there's been a spin for Angel as well. That's been a bit of a nightmare start for at least 2 of the drivers here today. And there's been another spin for Ace Pilot.
So we're going to see a lot of activity in the pits as well. And Pookie's strategy just gets very muffled. Presumably he's going to go onto the medium Campana tire and hopefully can recover decently from this race. It's looking at Pookie's pit crew. It is indeed the medium tire that goes on, so probably 2 sets of mediums till the end of this race. Comes out in last.
Well, he'll stay on them for as long as he needs to, unless we have a safety car, at which point I would imagine he would change off of them. Meanwhile, Gruffelbauer is chasing down a Quack. Groffel has been a fairly unlucky driver in the season so far. He hasn't managed to pick up very many points, if any at all. So he's going to try and chase down any opportunity he can to score at least 1. Currently he's P9. We've had a yellow flag for Pookie in the S's.
I think it's just cold tires, really. Cold tires. Really unfortunate. Made a bad situation worse, but never give up. Still got 26 laps to go.
Yeah, if there is a safety car, the field will be bunched back up, and he should be able to... Oh, there's been a little spin for Sorok there. Caught that just in time.
He's managed to get on the track, so he's lost a couple of positions.
He's lost some positions.
So it's about 5, but
and loses another one to Laryl Fusion.
He
DRS is enabled. Fusion's actually coming into the pits. I think he may have lost his front wing.
Let me just I'll just confirm that with you in a moment. So Fusion into the pits. There it is. Yeah, that is front wing damage, and that is going to be from the medium tires to the hard tires, and replacing the front wing. Number 7 AlphaTauri in and now out.
Meanwhile, Daniel is keeping in touch of Bubbly. He's just about within the 1 second DRS margin. He will get DRS down the main straight here towards turn... I can't remember the number, as Pookie has had another spin at turn 19. Cold tyres again by the looks of things.
And there's another spin, as I think that's a crazy Steve in the Red Bull. Yep. Soft tyres.
Daniel
really
starting to reel Bubbly in down the straights. With any luck, he can hold on to that 1 second margin, as there's another yellow flag, and that's the other Red Bull of Reese, who's had a moment, but he's got going a lot faster. Jordan on the hard tyres is actually performing quite well. Only 6.5 tenths behind Finley Norman.
That could be a very advantageous strategy.
Pookie has just retired. I think he may have hit the wall, and we have a full safety car. So we did get a safety car, but Pookie was the cause of it, and it hasn't benefited him at all. So,
well, that gives them a lot of opportunity for the back markers who did have a couple of spins and wing damage to come back. We've got Bengal in for a very early stop. That's not damage. That is a tactical call from the Alpine driver. He's going from the softs to the mediums, no wing damage at all. And Sword coming in also from the softs to the mediums. Ace Pilot coming in from the mediums to the hards.
He had to be held up a little bit there by his teammate.
It's not too bad. Not too bad at all. And then Reese coming in from the mediums to the hards. I think Reese... Yeah, so just coming in. Everyone's thinking that they can stretch the hard tires. 26 laps.
Steve is making the switch to mediums.
So, variety of strategies. No soft runners whatsoever in the field. Don't know how the soft tires have fared out, so it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens. Pookie has left session. It's pretty unfortunate from him. The Aston Martin safety car leads, while an Aston Martin Formula 1 car also leads behind them.
It is an Aston Martin 1-2, but I'm afraid Bernd Maylander cannot hold on to the lead because he's not allowed to win.
Yeah. Pretty interesting.
I'm sure there's plenty of people who think that he did win the 2021 Belgian Grand Prix. He was certainly driver of the day.
If you call that a race, then yeah. Then he technically won that. But luckily, when I went to Belgium this year, it wasn't too bad, so I'm quite happy about that. Regardless, though, everyone's catching up. 2 Red Bulls now. Last the queue. We're probably going to have the safety car for another lap, and then we're going to start to pull away. Just waiting on everything now.
With the position changes, currently Bubbly and Daniel have only switched one position. Oh, Luka Jovic has joined. Hello, Luka. Sherlock has moved up 3 positions from his starting position of P8. Groffel and Quack have moved up 4 positions. Groffel did get past Quack in the end. Hardy, who started dead last after that disqualification, is up into 9th place. So he's up an astonishing 11 positions. Big Six has moved up 4 positions himself. Biscuit up 8. Jabba up 5, and I think everyone below Jabba has made a pit stop, hence why they are out of position. In fact, yes, Angel, he had that spin earlier, which is why he is out of position. Everyone else made the pit stop.
Yep, it does look... excuse me. I was just about to sneeze. I might very well... excuse me. Just do that. But, yeah, looks like everyone's got the safety car should be in this lap, and we can go right once again. Just waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, I think safety car will be released around turn 17. So I've still got a fair chunk of the lap to go before racing gets back underway, hopefully on lap 6. DRS will be re-enabled on lap 8.
It's only a quarter of the way in. We're in this race, which is
fair gap between Finley, Norman, and Jordan for some reason. Hopefully that doesn't hold up the safety car coming in.
I don't think it should. Just mainly just to get some free air, and because if you stamp the throttle in.
There we go. Safety car is coming in this lap, and it happened at turn 16. So I was one corner too late with my prediction.
Yeah, the prediction for when the safety car would come in, sorry.
Yeah. So, Bubbly leading the pack. He has to control this restart expertly. It's not often that he has been in the lead. Daniel, meanwhile, putting on some Max Verstappen-esque moves, going alongside the Aston Martin a little bit. And I think that there is the safety car line where Bubbly can start going if he needs to. He hasn't gone yet.
He's teasing them. He is
and
now.
He is going now. And Jordan seems to have been caught out a little bit. He is already a second behind Finley Norman. In fact, might be under threat from Sherlock as well. Bubbly still weaving down the straight, trying to get some temperatures into his tyres, and Jordan has been overtaken by Sherlock down the main straight, so he was caught out by the restart and has been passed by Daniel's teammate. And this is looking like it could be two Ferraris.
We've got a yellow flag.
Yellow flag.
One of the Mercedes is Quack.
Oh no, Quack. That has put Jabber up into the points. We'll see if Jabber can pick up a point or two.
I think he's in a very advantageous position. That's the thing.
Sherlock picks up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, so I don't know if that would get removed. I know that this league does remove those penalties on occasion, but it depends if it is the right circumstances. So I'm going to treat it like he will not get that penalty removed.
Depends on the context, obviously, but yeah, looks like everyone's kind of just going and spreading out at the moment. Obviously, DRS is going to be activated within 2 more laps, I believe, so will definitely be something to watch out for, because it does look like Daniel is, dropping a lot back from Bubbly, but Finley is really catching up to Daniel. So is Sherlock in the Ferrari, but Jordan wanting to re-overtake Sherlock in the Ferrari as he gets a bit unstable is also under threat, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the hard tires work in comparison to the medium tires as well. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see also when they hit. Presumably it'll be around lap 14, because these guys probably got a nice helping of the safety car, just cooling down their tires, cooling down their temps, and getting them into a better operating window. We've got Reese, who's in the pits now. Hard tires, medium tires, and a new front wing.
He's put on new medium tires. I think,
so that could go to the end, I think. He was on hard tires, so he was on the mediums first, the hards, and then the mediums. So it's in 3 stops, I believe, at the moment. But
Daniel has just dropped outside of a second of Bubbly, or at least it was briefly.
DRS is not
we don't get the DRS
either
until the next lap, but he is dropping back more and more. And if he
we
can't,
can see that Bubbly is using a lot of ERS, though, that's the thing.
Yeah,
so
the telemetry will bring that back up. So Bubbly using a fair amount of his ERS. He's just about under 40% on his battery. Daniel has 65. Finley has 60. Sherman has Sherlock has about 50%. So Bubbly has been using his energy to get outside of that 1 second margin, and it has helped as we go. Oh, something has possibly happened for Bubbly. He's lost a bit of time, actually. He's dropped back into DRS range. Of course, we won't get the DRS until what corner number it is. The hairpin. Oh, Quack has had a mistake at turn 18. He's got a spin, and as well as Crazy Steve
as well, yeah. Both of them. It's about 20 laps to go at the moment.
Bubbly,
quite a fighting one.
Bubbly was 1.2 seconds ahead of Daniel, but something happened. I think he may have had a tank slapper, and he's crazy stiff for tyres.
Crank is now
He
into the
hasn't
bits.
crashed though, so he's done that in the pits safely. We will not get a safety car from that. But as I was saying, Bubbly was 1.2 seconds ahead until he had that mistake or whatever it was that has put Daniel back into the DRS range.
And he is gaining. He is gaining down the main straight. But also Finley is also gaining down the main straight. But he's had a decent amount of gap to Finley as well. I think the gap's grown a little bit even with DRS. So Finley using a lot of ERS. Bubbly using a lot of ERS. But Daniel just keeping the ERS usage to what is needed. And you can see the gap was, I think, 8 or 9 tenths at the start of the first lap. It's now 6 tenths. It's about a 3-tenth gain. Now in a 5 and a bit tenths.
Still gaining through turn 18, though he loses a little bit through turn 19. Meanwhile, Jordan is getting pretty close to the rear end of Sherlock's Ferrari. Oh, he's been looking for those points. He keeps making these serious mistakes. He's outside of the points again. Meanwhile, Jordan going around the outside of Sherlock. At turn 1, can he make it stick?
Using the ERS, using the DRS at all, they're very similar.
Bit of contact side by side through the S's, and Sherlock has to yield. And now Sherlock under threat from Jessic. So in this, it almost lost another position as Biscuit picks up a 3-second time penalty. Ace Pilot also picked up a penalty as well.
So we've got Daniel, who started last lap 8, with 8 tenths of a gap, and now has more the same.
Tenths. He's not using his energy, so it looks like
he's biding his time. I think he's going to do, because they're on the same tire, keep that in mind. They might do a very fast in lap with a lot of his ERS to compensate for it.
They're on the same tyre, yes, but they may be on different setups. For all we know, Daniel has a low downforce setup, which could be compromising him through some of these corners, as Reese has another spin in the S's. Daniel gaining a little through turn 18, but then he loses it and actually goes wide at turn 19, so he will more than likely have a warning from that escapade. They are sort of dropping Finley Norman though, but at the minute Norman is still within the 1 second DRS margin to Daniel. But the three at the front have more or less checked out ahead of Jordan.
It's definitely going to be quite interesting, but Daniel is gaining. I think it's quite the opposite of what you said. Bubbly has the straight line speed, but Daniel's got the corners, and Koza does have 2 very long straights. So, and you can just see right now, gap is 5 and a bit seconds. You'll just see Bubbly just pull away. Look, it's now at 6 tenths, but the ERS has come at an opportune time as Daniel's stuck very close to him. He's gaining. He is gaining.
He needs it.
I don't think he's going to need it.
Yeah, he's not using it. He's maybe not feeling like he needs to use it at the minute. As there's a bit of jockeying for positions as Jessic has got past Sherlock now, who is struggling. He has admitted to me that he has issues controlling his ERS usage, and he is below 10%. As you can see, the red lights flashing on the back, that goes to show that he has less than 10% battery remaining. So he tends to be a bit too liberal with the application of the ERS. Jordan also being a bit too liberal. He's on the cusp of 10%.
We see the first pit stop. We've got Sherlock into the pits in lap 11. Gonna go from the medium, still hard tires. In, out. And that was a quick stop from the Ferrari team. Probably going to be seeing a lot of people follow suit as well. and everyone's going to be looking at a timing sheet to see how Sherlock is doing. Jabba also into the pits for Williams. He comes out in Q14, the first driver to pit under non-safety car conditions in this race.
Oh, this is possibly going to be a change for the lead here. Oh, Daniel outbroke himself a little bit. Got too close to Bubbly there, and he was within 0.3 of a second. But that mistake has cost him 0.3 of a second again. And he's having to make up that time yet again. But they have dropped Finley Norman, who is now outside of a second of Daniel ahead. Though he's actually sort of gaining through the twisty bits. So Finley Norman does appear to have a bit more downforce on his car.
It's going to be interesting because, again, it's just a combination of both things. You've got long straights and you've got corners that they can gain and lose and gain and lose. But Bubbly just holding it off. But it's going to be interesting because I think Daniel will definitely go for the overcut because Daniel will get DRS down this main straight. For example, they'll go in the start-finish, right? And as Bubbly, supposing he goes for the overcut, and then he gets the DRS, uses a lot of energy, and then it just comes out. He'll go out ahead, whereas Bubbly will have no ERS and no DRS. Not much ERS, but not no DRS that he can use. So it is going to be. Yep, we're seeing a lot of people pit now.
He had a spin again in turn 18, so he's decided to come off of these tyres and put on some brand new hard tyres. Ooh, that's chugging a lot.
Should take him to the end. 16 laps we are racing now, and we're seeing Sherlock, who originally pitted, was first pitter under non-safety car conditions, is now
and he
12.
picks up another 3-second time penalty. So you have 6-second penalties now.
Pushing the envelope too much, I think, in that scenario.
And Daniel just reeling Bubbly in ever so slightly, lap by lap. It's been another spin for Reese in the S's. Of course, there's the sector split time. The line. Oh,
and we're seeing Bubbly fake it.
Reese has actually retired on the track.
And Finley now into the pits. Very opportune time for him. He's probably going to come out in the net lead of this race.
Gordon and Jessic are also pitting.
So everyone.
Reese has committed the cardinal sin of retiring on track, and seemingly not because of a crash, but because he pressed the button to do it. So that will be under investigation, I imagine.
A lot of people into the pits. That leaves the leaders a bit.
Hardy up into P3 now. So if he puts on a new set of tyres, I don't think he'd be able to hold on to P3. In fact, he almost certainly won't, because they've caught up to the safety car now. But yeah, this might actually not turn out so well. I thought this was going to potentially give him a fast track into the upper echelons, but instead, on these 12-lap-old hard tyres, he's got to go on a little bit longer, whilst Finley Norman is behind them with fresh hard tyres. Could be seeing quite the squabble for the lead in the laps to come.
It's going to be interesting because you have the leaders who were faking these pit stops, to get one or the other in. And now you have the safety car where I think the biggest benefiter is that Alfa Romeo of Finley. He's pitted on the safety car. These guys have to pit, so Finley will lead the race. Now, it will be very interesting to see if Daniel and Bubbly take the pain now to pit, knowing that they've essentially been caught with their pants down.
The thing is, if they pit now under the safety car, they will lose out. they will be dead last. So they have to try and do it under racing conditions. But in the end,
But how long are those tires going to last for? Probably
that is the $1 million question. Hardy, they are coming in. They are coming in.
They will take the pain now.
Hardy is
with
coming
the reward
in as well.
later. So that means Finley leads this race. Guy who's in P3, P4, P5 for a while.
Oh,
now leads.
Oh no, never mind.
I thought he'd lost his front wing end plate somehow, but no, he is driving an intact car. So this is quite the strategy call from Finley here.
Was it strategy call? Was it opportune timing? Only we will find out.
Maybe it was luck. Maybe he saw the safety car come out and he's decided, well, the pit lane is right there, let's come in, and he's pulled that to perfection. So Ace Pilot is in P2 now. We'll take a look at the tyres again. If we can find that. Oh, Ace Pilot and Level Fusion on old hard tyres, so don't expect them to hold on to those positions for too long. Jordan and Jessic on practically brand new tyres, though Jordan on the mediums will probably be the quicker of the two. Sherlock on fairly new tyres, so pardon me. Yeah, Ace Pilot and Fusion we can expect to tumble down the order. But it's going to be quite the challenge for Bubbly, Daniel and Hardy to work their way up through the field again. Not again, but still.
Honestly, it's going to be very entertaining to watch because these are guys who have the pace to win this race. Not only do they have to battle against themselves, but then they also have to battle against everyone else. Safety car is in this lap, so we'll find out.
And
with the state of the tyres, with the state of the tyres on the cars behind Norman, we could see this Alfa Romeo just flying off into the distance, so to speak. Finley could be picking up a win here today, but never say never. He could still be a curveball thrown at him. It just depends on how fast the cars behind Fusion and Ace Pilot can get past. And Finley is going for it into turn 19, and he has managed to catch Ace Pilot out a little bit. Finley Norman leads at the beginning of lap 15. There are that's 13 laps left, if I'm not mistaken. There's been is it a spin?
Going down the
yes,
order.
It's a spin for Bengal, who has lost his front wing. We're not getting a safety car again, though, so Bengal loses out. And he's more or less out of any sort of contention. Daniel 99 has actually had a very poor restart. He's down into 15th. He's currently fighting with Hardy. Oh, manages to keep ahead. The Bubbly has shot up to P12. Oh, there's been a spin for Jessic.
Jessic's sort of going down the order now.
He's spun at turn 3001.
Meanwhile, Finley Norman is starting to check out 1.5 seconds ahead of Ace Pilot, who simply doesn't have the pace to keep up with Finley Norman. Mainly, I suspect, due to his tyres. Jordan hasn't been able to get past. Big 6 up into P6 will be rather fitting if he finished the race in this position. Bubbly
Daniel
up into the points once again. Oh, what's happened?
Daniel span jab out. Daniel span jab out. He went down the inside, and that's surely damage for the both of them.
I don't see any visible damage on Jabba.
Probably a penalty as well, most likely.
Well, it's not a penalty that the game is going to give. It would be something that will be doled out in the FIA chat after the race. Finley Norman now 2.5 seconds off Ace Pilot, who is still holding on to P2, and Jordan makes the dive up the inside of Laurel Fusion and finally takes P3 on the road. Oh,
Bengal's now into the pits, changing tires.
changing his front wing.
Yeah,
He lost it 1 lap ago.
Gonna be some mediums, I think, to the end.
Possibly used mediums. Yeah, he's moving, and he's in 9 lap old mediums now.
That's gonna hurt.
Yeah. So Sherlock behind Fusion now. And in fact, it looks like he might well be able to get past the AlphaTauri before the end of the straight. Oh no, he's been held up. Probably didn't mean to wait to take that long to move out from behind the AlphaTauri. Getting on my words a bit mixed up. Oh, there's been another spin. Groffel has retired. Go, Groffel. And we get another safety car. Not sure what happened there, but Groffel goes.
See some soft tires, essentially.
Groffel goes without points yet again.
It's really unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate.
Jordan.
Bengal has a drive to penalty.
Jordan did get up into P2. Ace Pilot holds on to P3, though he's coming into the pits to change his hard tyres. Fusion also coming into the pits. Bubbly got back into
mediums
P9.
Hard tyres. Mediums or soft tyres, rather.
Oh, Quack picks up a penalty now. So Daniel hasn't been able to carve his way through the field like Hardy and Bubbly have been able to.
He's still P10. So it's not too bad.
He's only P10 because the cars in front of him have pit. So he's separated from his rival by Hardy and Quack. Meanwhile, Sork, P6. Where did he start? I don't remember. Let's find out. He started in P10 or P11. The game can be strange like that. Position changes. Hardy up 12 positions. Currently P8 after starting P20. Biscuit up 14. Big Six up 10. The tyres fairly decent age, so they could be on for some good points here today. Big Six and Biscuit.
Yep, will definitely be something to watch out for. Just 11 laps to go, maybe even 10 laps at the safety car. Throws out one more lap, and with that in mind, it will definitely be something to watch out for. I think this is our 3rd safety car, so I don't think there's any more after this, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure where you've got that from.
I remember on the older game there was, I think, a limit of 3. No one's bidding for soft tires, which I find interesting, because I
don't
would
think the soft tires would last long enough.
Yeah, but it's, you might as well go for it, you know, kind of thing. Might as well send it, you know. One more lap. Safety car is staying out.
Yeah, racing should get back underway for lap 19 as Bengal is coming through the stadium section right now. The game does like to wait for the entire field to be bunched up, and Bengal is 28 seconds behind Angel. And coming through turn 18 right now, whilst the rest of the field is going through turn 1. So he is catching, unless he makes another mistake.
Definitely before sector 2.
Yeah.
Because he's not got that timer anymore. And he's at full racing speed. Pretty much.
Well, he will catch up to the field.
And he is close to the field now. Yeah. Alright, so most likely we'll just be in this lap.
How's he going to be taking out in a straight line? And of course it was Groffel, yeah.
I feel really bad for you, Groffel.
You just don't seem to have the luck this season.
That's pretty unfortunate. because I really rate Groffle as a driver, but even in our practice session, we didn't have that luck, so pretty unfortunate. Just, I think we're nearing the safety car coming in.
Yep, the safety car
Bad
should be
news,
called in
Finley.
around
Very
turns
bad news for Finley, because
15 to 7.
he's got the race leaders who have caught up, who are now in the back, and also you've got safety car is in this lap, and you've got Jordan on fresh mediums as well. So it will definitely be something to look out for, in that sense.
Yeah, Jordan on the newer, well, not newer, but definitely softer rubber. He should be in with a chance of taking the position from Finley Norman. But if these two come together, we could see a rather surprising victory from Sherlock or Big Six. Anything could happen. So Finley backing the pack up for the second time in as many laps. There's a safety car line, and he goes for it. And he has caught Jordan out. Seems Jordan does tend to get taken. Oh, there's been a car going round again. Biscuit wiped out before he even crossed the line. Because it happened so soon after a safety car, I don't think we will get the safety car again. And no, we do not. It gets cleaned up. And Jordan
That's
already
really unfortunate.
9/10 behind Finley Norman, whilst the two Aston Martins swap position. Bubbly fighting his way back through the pack. And now closing in on Big Six. Don't count this Bubbly out just yet, as there's been a coming together between Jabber and Ace Pilot.
The back of Sherlock.
Oh, and there's been another contact between Jabber and Ace Pilot.
Oof.
So they came together twice within 4 corners.
That is not ideal. Probably some colourful language through a lot of people's headsets at the moment.
Jordan's going to make the dive bomb on Finley Norman, and he takes P1 from the Alfa Romeo. And with those soft tyres,
last, though?
we shall see that already 6 laps old. Now, sure, the hard tyres would last a bit longer, but they're not going to. I don't think they would still be in a particularly great place. And Finley Norman isn't out of the running just yet. He is still holding on. Jordan has picked up the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far, 137.322.
A lot of ERS, though, keep that in mind. They're quite on decently similar percentages. Bengal, I think, is now
he's serving a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, it's like 6th trip to the pits today. Hikaru are probably getting some much-needed practice for the other Alpine.
It's his 4th trip to the pits, but he hasn't stopped. He didn't stop for that one.
Yep, just saying hi to the pit crew, I guess.
Yep. Waving as he goes by.
Indeed. 8 laps to go. We've got DRS is not enabled yet, if I'm not mistaken. So it is one more lap, and will be lap 21. Finley dropping back. Jordan is already shot up away, and Sherlock trying to hold Big Six back. He's on the better tyre, but Bubbly, who was the previous race leader, is now coming back at Big Six. And it's very interesting to see what happens. It's Aston, Mercedes, and a Ferrari battling.
Big Six going for it!
Not
Big Six Bubbly, and he does make a little bit of contact, so he
was a bit over-ambitious there,
yeah,
mate.
So he's allowed Big Six to hold on to that position, but if he can't get past Big Six, his current position is under threat from Hardy in the second of the two Hasses.
As DRS is now enabled, Finley Norman has kept Jordan honest despite being on the harder rubber.
I think Bubbly's going to go for it right now. He's going to go down the
Bubbly
inside, around the
weaving a
outside.
lot. And
He does get the switch back down.
that did catch Big Six out and didn't know which way to go. And Bubbly now up into P4, unless Big Six has anything to say about it.
I think it's going to be this 3 things he's going to say about it. DRS. And
and there's a bit of a contact between Hardy, who tried to make his way past Big Six as well. And that has cost Big Six, who will not get the DRS on Bubbly, who is now free to race with Sherlock.
Hardy does get the DRS though on Big Six, so will be quite interesting to see what happens, because Six is now trying to use the DRS and regain from Bubbly. Meanwhile, Hardy is gaining down the outside rather than down the inside.
But he goes too deep, and he loses the position immediately to Big Six again. So very over-ambitious there. His heart's in the right place, but his brain just hadn't quite caught up. And it's a bit of it's actually the filling in a Mercedes sandwich at the minute. The Quack could, if Big Six can back Hardy up a bit, then Quack could make the move, but he just had a bit of a wobble on the exit of 19, and he's actually losing touch to Hardy.
You can see Bubbly and Sherlock who are battling, and Bubbly's trying to do that move around Sherlock, but he's already got that done. Makes the outside, the inside.
Oh, he makes contact with Sherlock though!
And Sherlock is around.
Yeah, and
no damage.
Bubbly has used almost all of his energy trying to get past and make his way up the field, so he has less than 10%. His rear lights will be blinking as he recharges, and that's not going to help his pace in this latter half of the race. There are 6 laps to go. He has to try and make up 4 or so seconds to try and catch Finley Norman. At the minute, it's not looking likely that Bubbly could take back the race lead.
And even so, the amount of incidents he's been involved in might not allow him to do that on penalty points as well, because he has gone for a couple of overambitious moves, which have pretty much ended some people's races in a nutshell, which is unfortunate. But it looks like the gap is pretty stable, yeah.
Speaking of low energy, Jordan and Finley Norman both have very similar levels of energy to Bubbly, so yeah, the pace is going to suffer a little bit, but they are at least somewhat equal in those circumstances. And Bubbly is closing a little bit, but not by a huge amount. I think that is 6 laps, 23, 4, 25, 26, 27, 28, yeah, that's 6 laps, my mistake. 6 laps to go. Jordan leads from Finley Norman, from Bubbly, who has closed the gap a little bit more. Jessic, meanwhile, under threat from Quack, who I think had a mistake or something, and that's allowed Jessic past. Also, Hardy got past Big Six in the end. Yes, Daniel has actually picked up a 3-second time penalty as well. He's in P8 at the minute.
They're quite fast. I think it's a bit overambitious because they want to make up for lost ground.
Yeah.
That's the one caveat I would say there.
Daniel, our pole sitter, has not been able to make his way through the field like Bubbly and Hardy have been.
We do have Finley.
Oh, Ace Pilot retires.
No safety car there, but we do have Finley, who has caught up to the back of Jordan at the moment, about 7/10 the gap, and those hard tires seeming to work well. 5 laps to go. Will definitely be favouring the hard tires, and Jordan is going to be having to look in their reviewers. Daniel has retired from the session.
Oh, Daniel! And our pole sitter is out, and he's crashed on the entrance to turn 18
some
looks like you may have
people
just had...
inevitably will be going for soft tires. Yes,
Yeah,
Angel.
Angel, Quack. We've got Sherlock as well. Oh,
He's got
Angel
a
though
5
picks up a
second
5-second penalty. Bengal has picked up a drive-through penalty as another one. So, not sure what happened to our pole sitter there, but everyone who has a penalty at the minute is in the bottom half of the field. Angel
on
with
the
a 5
freshest tires
seconds, Quack
and the fastest
Sherlock with
tires as
6.
well. I think safety car is going to be 2 laps maximum. Should be
Yeah,
get going
the
on
safety car
after
doesn't
6.
tend to last very long in the last few laps of the race. It doesn't wait for the field to be bunched up.
So it might just be this lap or next lap that we go in.
We'll see what the safety car does, and we'll see what the rest of the field does. They're all on, aside from positions 10 to 13, everyone's on fairly similarly aged tyres. Oh, Japper picks up a 5-second penalty now. For crossing, which is insult to injury because he's already lost. Yeah, we'll see what the safety
pretty
car
chaotic
does.
race, hasn't it? So far.
And
Pretty chaotic.
another penalty.
At this point, I don't think the safety car is going to wait for him, unfortunately. So will be pretty unfortunate.
I think it would go until lap 26, at which point, if he still hasn't caught up, then it would go. Because it would have been released by now, I think. So the question is, what will positions 1 to 9 do? Will they try and stop for new tyres as well? Because that would put Angel into the lead.
Depends how long the safety car is in next lap.
It should be in next lap. They are not stopping. Which isn't going to be too much of an issue because the drivers who are on the soft tyres all have penalties. So they probably finish behind them anyway.
Yeah, and we don't know how long the softs will last for.
Well, it doesn't matter because there's 4 laps left of the race. 3, possibly 2 of those laps will be under racing conditions. And Jabba is catching up to the field, so we will get the race back underway for lap 26, which will mean we'll have 1 lap of DRS running, which will be the final lap.
It will be very interesting to see a variety of tires and to see just a variety of tires and a variety of experience and setup and pace and everything, really.
4 drivers on the soft tyres, so Angel, Quack, Sherlock and Jabber. And then there's 4 drivers on hard tyres, Finley, Norman, Bubbly, Jessic and Bengal. And the remaining 5 are on the mediums, Jordan, Hardy, Big Six, Sork and Laurel Fusion.
Indeed.
It's a question of who can take the lead here now. Because Bubbly we know is a quick driver, but he's currently P3. Almost came together with Finley Norman there. Jordan is on the softer rubber. The question is, how much life is left in those medium tyres?
I mean, not much, but this is definitely helping them a decent amount. But yeah, the main thing is obviously that those mediums are probably going to be screaming. If it wasn't hurting then, it will hurt towards a couple of laps. Even though the hards are the slowest tire, it is the freshest and the most longest lasting rubber. Saying that though, the soft are also a threat. So everyone is a threat for points now.
Well, Jordan goes for it as the race gets underway for what will be the final time tonight. Oh, and Jordan, I think, has potentially messed up the final corner a little bit. Okay, maybe not. It was just my eyes tricking me again. Drivers weaving, trying to get temperature into their tyres for the final 3-lap sprint to the finish line. It all comes down to this, what is essentially a 3-lap quick race.
Sprint race here, when you think about it.
Well, yeah, that's what I just said, but...
Yeah.
Hardy up 16 positions onto finish. A pretty respectable P4. There's been a spin for Angel, so he will not. He will finish dead last. I can't remember what the buttons are I'm looking for. Bubbly still behind Finley Norman. I don't know if Jordan has won a Grand Prix this season rather. He might have, I don't remember.
I think Quack is making up a lot of positions. Gotten past Bengal.
Quack on the soft tyres just gets past Bengal, but got to take into account that he has 6 seconds of penalties, whilst Bengal has a drive-through penalty, so Bengal would, if he doesn't serve his drive-through, will get a 30-second penalty and will finish dead last. Quack would end up being P10 as Sherlock has got past Bengal now. Onto the penultimate lap here, and Hardy has dropped Big 6 by a second. Jessic has dropped Laurel Fusion by just over a second as well. And Quack has made his way past Sork, though he's still having a bit of a fight with the Aston Martin, but those soft tyres just...
Very well. Very well.
He's going to pick up another 3-second penalty if he cuts more curbs like that. Unfortunately, with the penalties he has, that overtake is going to mean absolutely nothing unless Sork makes a massive mistake. So at the minute, Quack still technically P9. Whilst Sherlock is P10. Finley Norman using all of his energy down the straight, trying to catch Jordan, but in the end it's too little too late. And with so little energy left, he's now potentially a sitting duck for Bubbly. That was Norman's last real chance, perhaps, to get past Jordan. I can't remember if I've just mixed the two names up. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. But at the minute, Finley Norman, with so little energy left, is going to have to settle for at least P2 here. But he's really messed up his final lap here. With so little energy left, Bubbly is now in the ideal position to get past the Alfa Romeo. It's going to be down to the wire here. Oh, he has to go wide. Possibly messed up a little bit.
Having to defend from Hardy, I think it'd be in the Haas.
Oh yeah, defending from Hardy as well.
It's a 3-way battle for the lead. I think Finley might take it here.
Well, the thing is, he has less than 10% battery, whilst Jordan has 40%.
He does have DRS, though.
Yeah.
That's my... Yeah.
But that's really all he has. DRS. Jordan has the energy, which will help him defend Brett. We'll see what Finley can do. We'll ride on board with the Alfa Romeo, using what energy he has. Jordan dumping his battery. The gap has grown to 0.5 of a second. It's still growing, even though Finley Norman has the DRS. Jessic has just got past Big 6. Jordan is on course to win the Grand Prix unless he makes a mistake, unless something happens.
I don't think anything's going to happen. I think he might have got this, but
there's
Aston Martin.
Bubbly trying to make his way past the Alfa Romeo. It was a last-ditch attempt to try and make another position. It might still be on course for P2, and he's getting so close to the diffuser. It's going down to the line. He makes the dive bomb, but it's not going to work out. It's like Kevin Magnussen
Jordan takes victory from Finley Norman. Bubbly has to settle for P3. There we go.
Race.
Bloody hell.
What a race. Yeah.
And Hardy, driver of the day, started dead last, takes P4.
Well done. Well,
Did you lose you at the end?
nope, I'm here. I'm here.
It says, it said Ace has left, not Ace, Shiv has left the session. So.
Nah, oh yeah, my game closed back. Yeah. Funky.
There we go, that was... Bubbly did everything he could, but in the end... Oh, Angel is going to try and go across the line backwards, I think, but... Yeah, been a bit of a race to forget. Angel.
You might as well at that point, yeah.
8 positions, so he started P15 and Angel decided to just crash. Don't blame him.
Indeed.
So we'll see what the final classification is, as yes, the game does agree with me that Hardy,
Driver of the day.
for that last to 4th run. Shall we watch the podium celebration, or are we just gonna... Oh, is the game gonna be a... arsehole? We'll see. Oh, we will get the podium celebration. Yeah, there we go. Jordan takes victory. I'm pretty sure this is his first of the season, at least. Do correct me if I'm wrong. And so, classification, Jordan takes victory. Finley Norman will be P2. Bubbly has to settle for P3. Hardy, P4. Jessic, 308, P5. Big Six fits fittingly in P6. Level Fusion will take P7. Swark takes P8. Quack, P9. Sherlock, P10. Jabber, just so inches away from the points in P11. Bengal, P12. Angel, P13. And the people who did not finish, Daniel, 99. Ace Pilot, Arax Biscuit, Groffle, Reese, Crazy Steve, and Pookie. And there we go. I don't know, unfortunately, what the championship standings are like, but Bubbly will have made up some ground on his teammate Tom, and it's no change at the front between Goshan and Tom, as they are not here. So, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Meow! That is the United States Grand Prix. Join us next week on the 27th of November at the same time, 7 PM UK time, for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And I don't know who, if we will have a co-commentator next week. We might have Shiv, we might have Oscar, or it might not. It might just be myself again. But until next time, it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me too. I'll see you in a bit.
Thank you for watching, everyone, and until next week, have a good one, and good night.